The difference between a great idea and a solid business plan is execution. My next guest company oversees every step of the process in the Middle East. Joining me now is Tariq Chauhan, CEO of EFS. Well, Tariq, maybe you could start by telling me a little bit about EFS.
EFS was established as a facility management services arm of a large MEP company. In 2006, it was hived off into a standalone integrated facility management services company. Between then and now, EFS operates about 20 countries. We have business of facility management, what we call as integrated facility management across these 20 countries. We work with some of the largest global majors and headquartered out of Dubai.
Since 2009, what would you say have been the company's key achievements?
We've been able to expand from 5 countries to 20 countries. We've been able to diversify our entire client base from our regional and local to largely multinational. So today, in context to diversity, EFS is possibly one of the most envious models for somebody to adapt when it comes to a facility management services. There was a puzzle which was missing. The Middle East, Africa and South Asia was looking for credible service provider, and there was a serious challenge to supply chain within this particular domain, and EFS is one such company that came with a solution. 60% to 80% of our growth has come from multinational sector, whilst we continue to grow in the local sector as well.
Well, now let's move on to your mantra, people, system and structure. Tell me more about this.
In a service industry, you need the right systems, because any great operator would need the right standard operating procedures, the right technology. You need the innovation around it, which is of course driven by people. And eventually coming to structure is, do you have the right and apt structure to cater to the requirements of the contract? Often we build wrong structures. Sometimes you put top-heavy management structures without realizing that operations needs to be supported with the relevant staff strength.
Well, what would you say your key focus and drive has been moving forward?
When the recession was looming large, everybody was looking to find ways how to bring operating efficiencies, cut costs, and build innovative solutions. And my focus when I took over in 2009 was first to bring some semblance in terms of operating cost, to be aligned with the sourcing goals and objectives, because most of the sourcing agents across the global majors were looking to reduce operating cost. So we came with the integrated facility management service strategy, which was we call 360-degree vision. And that was adopted, that was implemented in 2010-11. Of course, it took me almost 18 months to implement it. And what we were able to accomplish was, whilst the gross margins were down by almost 25%, we were able to still maintain the net operating margins at the same level. And this was accomplished due to role and service integration, bringing commercial prudence into the overall contract, and thirdly, on the life cycle planning.
So what's your thoughts on the facilities management industry going forward?
The end users' expectations, the client, which is the business, and the sourcing often are disconnected between they are expecting lower cost whilst the operations are expecting higher standards. To maintain this is becoming a challenge, and there is a need for definitive deep dive for the leaders. The second is the property, which is becoming a more of a trading commodity than earlier. People would own buildings for years and years, and they would manage it as a long-term asset. So they were investing aptly into life cycle management. They were also spending a lot in the building itself to increase the overall efficiency of the building. Whereas the investors coming into the property domain who are looking for a short-term turnaround, and they often cut on cost. Third element of the challenge that is there is we yet don't have a great technology coming into facility management. Somehow there are various softwares, but they are still driven around the traditional FM, which is preventive plant maintenance. It has to move to integrated facility management.
Finally, what's the way forward for EFS under your leadership?
Global knowledge, regional presence, and local experience. If we are able to integrate these three, will eventually be a successful model. By bringing professionals from around the world with relevant knowledge and experience to be incorporated into our regional presence, because we have moved the concept of fixed cost to variable. We offer a lot more horizontal services than just vertical services alone. So this combination of vertical horizontal through a regional model is able to help clients. One is to accomplish consolidation. Second is also reduced operating costs. Thirdly, a better contract management.
Tariq, thank you.
Welcome.